So, our goal is to share what are the fundamental principles to protect children and what we can do as organizations, associations, in order to protect and ensure our environment for children in particular taking part in our project. And then we will tell you how in Save the Children we implement these basic principles in our child safeguarding policy. So how we can ensure this right. As Professor Ferrara was saying before, we move from an idea of child duty bearer, so considering children as people having rights and not just necessities. So how can we ensure that all activities, programs and projects that we implement as organization will not harm, even in an involuntary way, to the children taking part in this project, and how we can build a protecting environment for children attending our projects and activities. So for sure we can create a mechanism, a protection system that on the one side can minimize any risk to harm, even in an intentional way, children that are involved in this project, and on the other side can guarantee a prompt response to any doubt or to any abuse or mistreatment. In 2002, this group of organizations that were embraced in this international organization called Keeping Children Safe, they launched this idea of safeguarding and of minimum standards of protections inside organizations. As of today, Keeping Children Safe is recognized as the leading organization in this domain, and all these standards are recognized even at international level. So why should we adopt these standards? First of all, because they are really practical, and so they transform all the national and international rules as the CNRC, the Convention on Childhood and Adolescence. They transform it into practical aspects, and they can allow organizations to comply with these rules, and then they help the definition of pathways, of clear pathways, and they define how an organization shall minimize the risk of harming its beneficiaries. All the principles or any protection system is based on general principles that are here listed. First of all, is do not harm. So do not harm any child right when we are implementing activities addressed to children, and to build and protect the children with whom we work in a direct way, but also in an indirect way through the partners of our project. So minimum standards to have an internal protection system. So these standards, you see them, there are 4 of them. The first one is the child safeguarding policy. So organizations shall have their own child safeguarding policy, which is a practical, an internal document expressing the position of this organization as for child protection. And then this document shall include a code of conduct and some clear reporting and management procedures of any abuse. So this policy is a key element to ensure the accountability of an organization. But this document, this internal document, shall be turned into something operational and practical. Otherwise, it can happen that it is a nice document, well structured, but then it is left inside a drawer without protecting children involved in their project. So that is why that apart from having this document, we should make clear all roles and responsibilities of people working with and for children. So the third element that is key in a protection system concerns procedures and tools. So the fact of creating tools in order to manage and report any child abuse situation. For example, the code of conduct must be clear and simple and must define what do we expect from our staff and what is admitted or non-admitted. Any tool to minimize risks, for example, creating some risk assessment procedures that can be considered as simple tools that we can, for example, use when we have to work with children. And so by filling out these forms, for example, they can immediately give us an idea of the situation that we have to face. And the fourth safeguarding standards concern monitoring. So our system, the system of protection that we implement in our organization, must be monitored. I mean, its effectiveness must be checked so that we can adapt it and improve it in order to have it consistent with the activities organized.